What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about?
This superstar needs a change. Hey guys, this is a Wrestling Maniac. Welcome to my channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Join membership if you want, but please, yeah. All right, wrestling guys, man. Let's talk about Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. Why Sami Zayn needs a change. Sami Zayn needs a change. What is missing from him getting to that main event status, so that world title, becoming world heavyweight champion or undisputed champion? What's missing? Well, a lot of it's missing. He has the ability in the ring. He's been in some main event matches for the title matches, but it's always come up short. As Trick Williams always pointed out to Sami whenever they interacted, Trick Williams always said Sami is the one that can't get it done. And Sami's always had his moniker, has always this thing behind him. He's the underdog. Okay, the underdog. Okay, the underdog. Well, that gets tiring in my opinion. To me, that underdog thing gets tiring. Okay. Yes, when it comes to sports gambling, there's always the better team and there's the underdog team, right? Usually the better team and the underdog team, right, is and most of the time the favorite wins. But there's a time where the underdog does beat the better team, does beat the best team, maybe. Okay, right? So this thing, Sami Zayn is here. Is that he's always been in that spot, and he's always been in a spot. And I can't say he's been. I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. When he goes for the U.S. title, whenever he wins the U.S. title, I'm never gonna consider him an underdog when he goes for those belts, because those, to me, he's in that. Those are not underdog stories for him. But the thing with Sami is, why is he still an underdog? This guy's one of the few wrestlers to beat Gunther on the main roster, WrestleMania, about 2 years ago, getting up to 2 years ago. There's one of the few to beat Gunther, and Gunther has been two-time champion, right? Retired AJ Styles, retired Cena, retired Bo Goldberg, 3 legends. Okay, why is Sami Zayn still this freaking underdog? It's always gonna be because he never won a belt. Okay, Gunther. Okay, at the time when Sami beat Gunther was in Intercontinental title. He took the Intercontinental title off of Gunther. But everybody knew Gunther was going to be world champion very soon. But why should we see? Why should Sami Zayn still have this underdog attached to him? To me, it's getting boring and people are starting to realize that, man, we're getting bored of this. Stop with this underdog stuff. We're getting bored with this, right? And there's been times over the few months where the reaction to the Sami Zayn the crowd's reaction wasn't exactly always as loud as it once was. I think people are starting to see that. Man, they're never going to make him world champion or undisputed champion ever, and they're just going to keep him basically in purgatory. And he's been on the main roster for a decade, 2016, somewhere around there. And of course, he was never going to beat Roman when Roman was champ. But there's other opportunities where maybe he could hold a belt for a couple of days. I mean, Jey Uso was highly popular and he won the belt. You don't think they could give a Sami Zayn a Jey Uso one for a couple months? Sure, they could have, right? And he's always involved in the middle of the U.S. Intercontinental, or sometimes World Heavyweight. In the middle, sometimes the main event, or he's in the main event stories going on, and so. That's why he needs a change, because he's getting stale. He's getting boring, and I'm starting to get a little bored of this underdog character, and I'm hoping what I'm seeing these past couple of weeks is a change in him, because He's been a lot more aggressive, a lot more angry, and yes, he's times where he calms down during those segments where he sort of realizes what he says. But I like his aggression towards Cody Rhodes. Accuses Cody Rhodes of this and this, and Jacob Fatu accuses Jacob Fatu last night of attacking Jey Uso just to get his spot against Logan Paul to go to the Elimination Chamber. I like that. I like to see that from Sami. Like, is this? I like to because I like to see where when he lost to Drew McIntyre. In the week following, he was walking backstage, looking down like all depressed and frustrated. Right? Didn't say anything. I like that. But I like that, and I think following up that, showing a different side of Sami, a more aggressive, a more angry, a more pissed off Sami. Even going after Cody, going after Jacob, even though calming down the situation, I think it's just as smart. I think it's building him up, to try to make him less stale. And I do think he needs a character change. Maybe a heel turn. Maybe a heel turn is best for Sami. I know he's so damn likable, but there was a time where Sami Zayn was a heel for like 7-8 years. I don't know, like for. Well, like 2017, he turned heel in 2017, and he turned babyface in 2023. So about 5.5 to 6 years. Where the time of Sami Zayn was a long time to be heel in the WWE. When he aligned himself with Kevin Owens in 2017, he had a former tag team. He went singles, and he joined the Bloodline and all of that. There's time, and I thought he did. I didn't at the time to think Sami Zayn would be a good heel, but I thought he did a solid job as a heel. Could get under people's skin, annoy people. The conspiracy theorist Sami Zayn for a time being during the Thunderdome days. The Bloodline version of Sami where it's making people laugh. And I think as a heel turn here, I think this to freshen up his character, the more angry, more fresh, pissed off Sami. And not a serious Sami. A serious Sami, not your jokey, likable Sami, a serious Sami, because I think that's what he's missing here. And I think he needs an attitude change, and I think if he gets attitude change, I think there's a possibility he become champion eventually. Get with his underdog stuff, okay? Get the perfect thing here is turn him heel, and whenever he gets title matches, get a baby face, cheat, do whatever it takes to win. Get to frustrate to a point where he cheats to win, turn heel. I don't know. You gotta do something because this is getting stale. People are not believing in it as much anymore. I'm sure there's still people want Sami, like this Sami. It's just that to me, and maybe others, you tell me in the comments below your thoughts, obviously. But to me, like this is getting stale. You can't do this character for years and years, and it's the same shtick. I think he needs an aggressive, more angry, and it's showing signs of it. Is that going to be a heel turn in the future? I think he needs, to me, it signifies a heel turn in the future. I do think he needs to turn heel. I do think so, to freshen up the character a bit. Because he needs it. On SmackDown roster. And I think it'll do wonders for him. Alright, thoughts. Like, share, subscribe down below, guys. Thanks.
Too sweet. Too sweet. Too sweet.